Back with Freddie, he's promoting Paris is Burning, and there was a lot of characters in that movie, and alumni as it were. A lot of them are no longer with us. They have gone back home, and because they can no longer speak for themselves, I'm gonna ask Freddie if he would be so honored to give them voice and tell us some of the data. All right, right off the bat. Dorian Corey.
She was wonderful.
Dorian Corey would have been like, I guess in the movie, what I interpreted from that, if correct me if I'm wrong,
yes.
She was kind of like the mother hen.
Yeah, Dorian was.
Dorian?
In a sense, Dorian had a house and she let the house go and everything else. It was cool. But the one wonderful thing about Dorian is if you really needed wisdom, if you really needed someone to listen to you and give you that grandmotherly type, okay, then cool, I will tell you what to do, and if you do it right, everything will work out in your life. Dorian was the one, besides Avis. But Avis was more motherly, where she would go to your school, pretend to be your mother, slap you around and tell you, send me home in a cab. Avis was wonderful, but she was very sincere and very strict about going to school, educating yourself and everything else. A lot of Avis's proteges and everything else, including myself, had to go to school, college, and everything else. That was the House of Condoms.
That is wonderful that there was a mentoring, mentoring system like that. Because for the most part, a lot of the children that were in that movie were just disenfranchised.
Our mothers and some of our mothers and everything else didn't want to be bothered with us and didn't want to be around us and everything else. It was all okay. But we had somebody else who mothered us, and fine, we couldn't live with them, but we learned very young about working, about having ethics, about taking care of our bodies, and about being kind of more somewhat body conscious, about going to school and educating ourselves to achieve higher goals.
That's wonderful. Back to Dorian.
Now, I knew you were going to go there, because you know what? Let me explain this to you.
Go ahead.
Okay. There was a trunk.
Dorian Corey was an amazing seamstress.
But I know where she's going with this. Dorian was also, she had her degree in, phlebotomy, in the sense she was also able to dissect a human being. So, with her degrees, when someone tried to attack her in her home, she killed them. And she wrapped them in leather skins and pushed them down into a trunk, in which stayed in her closet and was cold for over 20 years. When the coroner did find the trunk and the body inside of it, the mummification of the person was so perfectly done. It was comparable to the science of mummification in Egypt. She was that good. So do not be surprised if you get beat by a drag queen, mummified, and your mama don't know where you are. Don't fuck with that drag queen.
Don't. Baby, these are words to live by, okay? Because
I've known many a gay person to beat down a straight woman. So please don't do it.
You know they don't want no gays in the military.
Oh, please. They raised us as warriors on the streets. I've known too many street warriors.
You send some sissies in Iraq
and let them be but not to let them be sissies, but let them be out, especially out black sissies. So help me God, they'd have found weapons of mass destruction. They'd have found oil. They would have, you name it, especially oil and money.
Listen,
them queens would have sniffed it out, found it, and told you where to get your share after they done took theirs, most definitely.
So they were looking out for another bitch behind them.
Yeah.
We like that.
We like that. We're generous.
Like that.
We like that generosity.
There you go. There you go. Anybody else you want to talk about? Miss Pepper LaBeija. We can't get rid of that. We can't live without that. The pepper.
There's one specific memory. I had a Pepper, Dorian, me, and God bless the dead Kim Pendarvis. All of us sat together at the Adams Market, Philadelphia, and had a dinner. It was weird, in a sense, to look back on it. It's kind of like me and Kim dressed as boys and everything else. Dorian and Pepper dressed as girls, and they could tell that they were not girls. But as far as it goes, Dorian said this to me because I was nervous and I was very young at the time, as everyone knows. And she said, "Baby, stick with the big girl. I'm gonna teach you how to get down." And Kim said, "Oh no, we're gonna be sad. We're gonna turn you out." Da, 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 da. Okay, fine then. We ordered potato skins. They ordered the most expensive things on the menu. our dinner was wonderful and nice, and they were picking off our plates while they had the nasty food. They were like, ugh, I couldn't believe, get this away from me. It's horrible. It's disgusting. And to look back on that, I not only appreciate it, but I enjoyed it because that's one of those instances and situations where someone older took your hand and walked you through something, and you can look back on it and use that as a memory and a reference for life.
That is wonderful. So she wasn't just all about the multiplication. She did help the children.
She helped a lot of children out.
You ever thought that maybe Doreen was like a queen of the Nile prior to, in a past lifetime, she just carried that knowledge with her?
I think she carried something with her.
Well, we know she carried a body for 20 years. So,
Hey.
okay. Hey, when you go upstairs in your grandma's closet and you see
Be
the
careful with trunks.
We out. Okay. Freddie, thank you. Blessings, baby.
Blessings to you too,
All right.
darling.
And we're out of here.
Blessings to you all.